So, the big day is finally here. It's time to close on your first home. You arrive at the closing excited, as you are ready to begin your life as a homeowner. But then, you are presented with the breakdown of the closing costs. What does the closing statement actually include? What do all these fees actually mean? Today, we are going to take a look at the actual hidden cost of buying a home. The home inspection. Buying a home is exciting, but it can also be stressful and time-consuming. The worst thing that can happen after you've signed your closing papers is an unexpected major expense due to problems in the home that you weren't made aware of during the buying process. That's why a home inspection is so important, and why most realtors advise home buyers to hire a home inspector when they are looking to buy a home. Some buyers opt to save a few dollars by skipping this step. While an inspector is an additional expense, hiring one can help you avoid costly repairs and downright bad deals, saving you time and money in the long run. The average home inspection costs around $315, with condos and small homes under 1,000 square feet costing as little as $200. Larger homes over 2,000 square feet will run $400 or more. There is no set standard for how the overall inspection price is calculated, so you should ask your inspector up front to find out how you will be charged. The appraisal. A home appraisal provides a comprehensive look at what a piece of property is worth, and in turn, how much a lender is willing to loan you to buy that house. Home values in a specific geographical area are determined in part by the expert opinion of a professional appraiser, who visits and examines the size, condition, quality, and purpose of a home. Mortgage lenders require an appraisal on a house before they'll provide a loan. A home appraisal will determine if a home's value is overpriced, protecting a potential buyer from paying too much for a house. It also protects the bank from getting stuck with a property that's worth less than the amount they've invested. On average, the cost of a home appraisal on a single-family home ranges between $300 and $400. The price for an appraisal on a multi-family building starts around $600, but it can increase depending on the size of the property. Earnest money deposit. Earnest money is a deposit a buyer gives to a seller as a show of good faith that the buyer is serious about buying the home. The earnest money deposit is a negotiable amount between the buyer and seller, but usually is about 1 to 2% of the purchase price, although it can be as high as 10%. This money is generally held by the seller's broker or a title company to be used as a credit toward the down payment and closing costs. Title insurance. A clear title is necessary in any real estate transaction. Title companies must do a search on every title in order to check for claims or liens of any kind against them before they can be issued. Title insurance protects the property's buyers and mortgage lenders against defects or problems with the title when there is a transfer of property ownership. If a title dispute arises during a sale, the title insurance company may be responsible for paying specified legal damages depending on the policy. The average cost of a title insurance is $1,000 per policy, but that amount varies widely from state to state and depends on the price of your home. A one-time payment is made when or before you close on your house. Transfer tax. A transfer tax is the city, county, or state's tax on any change in ownership of real estate. Your transfer tax is equal to a percentage of the sale price or appraised value of real estate that you buy or sell. In some states, the transfer tax is known by other names, including deed tax, mortgage registry tax, or stamp tax. Some counties in the U.S. levy what is known as an optional transfer tax. Despite the name, it's the county government that decides whether or not to charge optional transfer taxes. Transfer taxes are separate from recording fees and mortgage recording taxes, which apply on top of transfer taxes. Not all states or counties charge both sets of taxes, but many high-cost areas like New York City levy both together. A recording fee is normally a small flat amount while mortgage recording taxes are a percentage of the sale price, like transfer taxes. Taken together, all these fees can end up constituting a significant chunk of your mortgage closing costs. Every county is different as to how the amount is calculated. Consult your real estate agent if you have any questions. Homeowners insurance. If you're like the rest of us and need to finance your new place, your lender will more than likely require that you purchase at least some type of homeowners insurance before settling on your mortgage. In most cases, you'll be asked to provide proof that you've prepaid 1 year's worth of coverage before the lender will consider closing. This amount will vary depending on what your lender requires, but they generally want you to carry enough coverage to pay for the cost of rebuilding your home from the ground up, at the very least, should disaster occur. There are plenty of other factors to consider as well. Paying your homeowner's insurance premium all at once and before closing allows you to exclude that premium from your closing costs. HOA transfer fee. HOA transfer fees are charged to cover the expense of the necessary transitioning activities and paperwork from the seller to the buyer. The HOA transfer fee will generally cover the new documentation and paperwork involved in setting up a new homeowner. There is also an expense for compiling, handling, and copying the property's inspection records and any fees associated with updating the lien for the new owner. An HOA transfer fee is customary and is just part of doing business. You will have to remember that nothing is free, and joining an HOA is no different. For example, when you buy and sell a car, you have to do a title transfer and pay a title transfer fee that shows the seller is no longer the owner of the car, while documenting the name of the new owner of that vehicle as well. These are just some, but not all the costs that you can expect to pay when you buy your home. Every state is different as to what you can expect to pay prior or at closing. Your agent should be able to explain this to you should you have any questions during the home buying process. As always, it's always best to use a licensed realtor.